now that I have a new channel name, it's time to rebrand myself. So today I'm gonna be setting up my YouTube banner with everybody. So I'm going to show how I made this ethereal, magical 3D letter YouTube banner. So I'm just combining my name and making it looking like a butterfly. I just wanted something very clean but still magical, kind of taking you back to like the Barbie movies type of vibe. And I used an app called, I think it's just called Nomad. It's an app on iPad where you can do 3D modeling. Because I did another version in Blender of the same letters, but it was just so difficult in Blender. It literally took like 5 minutes in Nomad. And meanwhile, when I tried to do this in Blender, it took like hours. And then I used Photoshop, just like combine the layers on top of each other. Hello! So lately I've been changing my channel name on YouTube, and you might be wondering why. I've changed channel name about 3 times. I think 3 times. No wait, I've changed name 4 times on YouTube. The start of everything, my name was actually Citronklyfta, which in Swedish means like a lemon slice. And like the reason for this is because back in the day I used to have this friend and she told me, "Oh, you remind me of a lemon slice." And I was like, "Okay, why?" And she was like, "Oh, it's because you're sour and fresh at the same time." So I was like, is that a compliment or is that an insult? I don't even know how to react to that. I still went with that username though, because like I wanted a username without parentheses or numbers on Instagram. So I just went with Citronklyfta, since then you can have an entire name, which I feel like just looks prettier. That was my username on Instagram. So I was like, okay, then it makes sense that I name myself the same thing on YouTube. But like at the start of my YouTube journey, my name was always Citronklyfta. So if you look at my first videos, you have this like intro where I'm like Citronklyfta, and like maybe like a year later it hit me. Like, do I really want a lemon slice to represent me as a person? Am I sure I really want this username? Right now my channel has like so few viewers anyways, so it probably doesn't matter if I change name, whatever. Like in the future, if, just saying if, I would ever like gain more subs, I just felt like lemon slice wasn't a good representation of who I am. And also I don't even talk with that friend anymore. The memory of how the name originated wasn't even that good. So I'm like, do I really wanna continue with this username? And I just feel like, you know, with names, they just give you different associations to periods of your life. And that period of my life, I feel like I wasn't really like being true to myself. Like I wasn't living my true self. Like I feel like back then I was kind of like a bit depressed and didn't have many friends. It wasn't such a good time of my life. Yeah, I don't even know if I want to continue with a name like that or just like rebrand myself. So that's basically my motivations for why I moved on from my first YouTube name and then changed it to my second username, which was Citru. And why did I do that? So where did Citru come from? Basically, once again, I was like, oh, I want a nice Instagram username. So I went on Instagram and just tried a bunch of names because like I felt like Citronklyfta is way too long. People can't remember it and they can't pronounce it. So I was thinking, oh, but what if I continued with the letter C, but then switched it up to something shorter? And I ended up finding this name called Citru, which I think in French means pumpkin. So I just went with that. I felt like it spelled out nicely and it was available and short. So I was like, you know what? Let's go with Citru. Like a couple months after that, it hit me that maybe I actually want to be named something that is related to my real name. So that's why I changed my channel name again to Enjoyyy, which is a combination between my name and my Chinese name. But then I talked with my boyfriend and he was like, Enjoyyy sounds too much like marijuana. is like spelled similar, and I was like, wow, like I've never thought about that before. But then when he said it, I was like, oh shit, like I don't want people to think I sell Mariana or something like that. But I didn't really believe him, so I went on ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT like, is it true that my username resembles marijuana? Like, do people make that association? Because like in my head, I think of it as something like Chinese, but for non-Chinese speakers, is it true you think of marijuana when you think of marijuana? And then ChatGPT was like, oh, certainly, there is some similarities between marijuana and marijuana, blah blah blah. And then it hit me, okay, maybe y'all are right. I felt like it was time to change it again. So now I've landed on my last channel name, hopefully, that I'm just gonna go with till the end. So right now, my channel name is Maria Xi, which is actually like, Maria is like a stage name because I don't wanna be called my real name on YouTube, because like, I don't know, I don't want people I know in real life to find me. So I prefer having like a name that is like similar to my real name but slightly different, so I can like identify with it but also use it as a stage name and be free. And then, you know, I'm just like gonna add my last name to make it more personal. Maria is actually a name that I potentially might change legally into, because I don't really like my birth name. But let's talk about that in a different video. Like, I've been thinking about changing my name actually, and it's been between Maria or Galatea. There was one more. Right, I also like mimosa. But then, you know, people were like, oh, mimosa, that's a drink. But I didn't know that because I haven't had this drink before. So I guess it would be weird if I change the name to mimosa. Just gonna keep it at Maria because I feel like it suits me. And since I might change my name into it legally, I want to try it out first on like different platforms and see how it feels. That's also why I changed into Maria. So that is the story of my name changing habits on YouTube. People make choosing a name seem so easy, but in reality it's actually very hard. Make sure to subscribe to see more of my life internal struggles. I'll be releasing a new series soon called Inner Monologues. Hope you look forward to that because I look forward to it, if I can pull it together. Have fun making your banners. I assume you have a YouTube channel since you're watching this, or maybe you're gonna use this for something else. But have fun with the 3D letters. See you next time. Bye!